So I will start recording.
Okay, so
advanced packs. As mentioned, we are going to focus on advanced email security, advanced disaster recovery, and advanced DLP. Let's start first with disaster recovery. So once we activate here the disaster recovery option in the protection plan, we activate it here and we apply the plan to the respective device. Then we spin up the VPN gateway on our end. We spin up the VPN gateway in Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud, and we create automatically. This has been done automatically, and automatically we create a recovery server for that workload from the last available or first available backup. The disaster recovery works in the following way. So the very first thing that we have to do is to establish connectivity. If we just apply the plan, as I said, we spin up this VPN gateway, which is in the cloud, and also we activate the cloud-to-cloud connectivity. So this part is not activated if we apply the plan initially. If you want to have local connectivity to the local network, then you have to install VPN appliance locally and create certain type of connectivity. The connectivity can be either layer 2 OpenVPN site-to-site or point-to-site. In the site-to-site option, you can download the VPN appliance, install it. You see this here, and then in this case we extend the local network to the cloud. So the local network through the VPN appliance, through the VPN tunnel, is being extended to Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud, and the workloads which we are going to create here in Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud, in Acronis Disaster Recovery Cloud, they're in the same network as the original machines. On top of that, you can also activate the multi-site layer 3 IPsec VPN. If we do so, then you can use any kind of third-party layer 3 IPsec VPN appliance to connect to Acronis Disaster Recovery Cloud. And in this case, the networks are different. The local network and the network in the cloud are different. Once we establish the connectivity, then we can create recovery or primary servers. Recovery servers are being created from a certain backup point. Once we activate the disaster recovery plan, then we create the recovery server, and as you can see, actually we create this template here, but the virtual machine in the cloud will be run once we do failover. As you see here, now it is in standby mode, which means the template is ready, but the virtual machine is not being created yet, and the virtual machine in the cloud will be created once we choose the test failover or production failover, one of the test failover or production failover options. Then you choose here the backup point where this recovery server will be created from, and then you just click start, and in certain amount of minutes the virtual machine in the disaster recovery cloud will be spun up and running. Again, repeating that those recovery servers are being created from a backup point, directly from the backup. The time for running the virtual machine depends on the size of the virtual machine and the backup, and also depends on what type of backup is being used. Is it incremental? Is it full? Because if it is incremental, and if we have 10 recovery points to be calculated, then it is needed some time to recalculate back those recovery points and start the virtual machine after that. This is very important when you create customer disaster recovery plans, and that's why once you have a certain possibility, please involve us. We can help you with the initial proof of concept setup. There are certain steps, certain best practices which can be used, for example, to measure the times and the sizes of each respective backup type for each workload. Based on that, to calculate the schedule, based on that, to calculate the retention policy, and based on that, to calculate the respective quota, or starting from the quota and going backwards. So there are certain calculations needed to be done in order to have consistent backups, to manage those backups within the quota. And one of the important things to remember is that you can manage the backup size and the number of the backups and the total backup size only through retention policy. This and similar best practices can be shared with you. So if you have any disaster recovery opportunity, please make sure that you involve Nebojša, and we can bring our help to you as well. Other than that, the setup is quite easy. I mean, you just, as you saw, the recovery server is being created. Once you create the protection plan, then you can come here directly and start the failover. This is important. Actually, important step is to calculate, when we speak about disaster recovery, the important step is to calculate the respective RPOs and RTOs. We have pretty good tool set to do this. So it is possible to achieve the minimum RPOs and RTOs. The primary servers, in the primary server section, you can see the primary servers available. Primary servers are being created. It's a little bit different than the recovery servers creation. They are being created from a virtual machine template. You choose the virtual machine template from here. Currently, you can choose only from those templates which are available here. Later, in some of the later releases, it will be also possible to the customer to define their own templates, but currently they are predefined. You choose the compute power needed, which means the respective compute points here, depending on the workload, and also you can choose here additional disk if it is needed. Here in the primary server section, there is only one IP address. It is the production IP address. If we use recovery servers, then we'll have also test IP address. There are two IP addresses on the recovery servers, but on primary servers there is only one IP address. From here also you can allow internet access, or you can use public IP address to that specific workload. Once you create the machine, it is up and running all the time. It is in ready mode, it is up and running. And in this specific example here, you see that we have established with the help of Microsoft Always On technology, we established high availability cluster configuration. Microsoft SQL 1 node is placed locally, and SQL 2 node, you see it here in the cloud. And we have direct replication, data replication between the two nodes. So primary servers can be used to to have those high availability cluster configuration. One node on-premise, one node in the disaster recovery cloud, and actually the RPOs and RTOs in this case are near to zero. So for very critical workloads, for SQL or Oracle databases or any other type of databases, you can use those primary servers to establish high availability clusters and achieve RPOs and RTOs near to zero. And also, you can automate all the things, all the actions in the cloud. You can use runbooks to automate the activities in the cloud. And the idea is when you need, when a disaster strikes and you need to power up your disaster recovery infrastructure, or if you need a maintenance window and you need to switch to the disaster recovery service, either primary or recovery service, then everything to be done with one click. Just execute the first runbook and everything can go automatically. Here in the runbook section, you can create your runbook and automate the different actions. So the steps are sequential, one after the other, but the actions within the steps are running in parallel. So you can define here to start server, stop server, failover or failback, or you can put even manual operation if you want to do DHCP or DNS adjustments in between. You can execute another runbook. As I said, you can create a runbook or a chain of runbooks. And once that there is a need, just click on the first runbook, execute runbook, and then everything goes automatically. This way, you can fully automate the switching of the users to use from local service usage to switch them to the disaster recovery cloud service usage, and have it in an automated way. And this way you can predict and calculate the RPOs and RTOs. This is another big advantage of Acronis disaster recovery cloud. You can predict the costs, you can predict the times, you can predict actually and you can define very precise disaster recovery plan to switch the users from the local servers to the cloud servers. And this is pretty much all of it about the disaster recovery cloud. As I said, quite straightforward, easy to be used, and very feasible. So, do you have any questions about the disaster recovery?
I see no questions in a chat.
Okay.
Nothing in.
Okay, so
Jumping then to the next advanced pack, which will be advanced email security. Once you activate the advanced email security, you have this special dedicated section, email security, here. And you can go to the email security console directly from here. For email security, we use third-party vendor, which is called Perception Point. And there is a single sign-on and integration between the Perception Point X-ray console and the Acronis Cyber Protect Cloud. So you see here that I jumped directly with single sign-on with my account from the customer tenant console directly in the X-ray console. We have capabilities to onboard different type of email services. If we use to clean the SMTP traffic for Office 365 for Gmail, then you see here that there is no need to change the MX record. So it is in inline mode, or in BCC, or in journaling, which are only monitor regimes, but the first one is production mode, and it is it's called semi-inline because it works with routing rule from Office 365. So how does it work in the reality? The SMTP traffic goes to Microsoft 365 tenants. In the Microsoft 360, in the respective Microsoft 365 tenant, we create a routing rule. This routing rule routes the SMTP traffic to the X-ray console. Here, the SMTP traffic is being cleaned and brought back to the Office 365. The integration between Acronis Protect Cloud, X-ray console, and Office 365 tenant is done automatically. There is integration, there is API integration, and everything is done automatically. So in this case, no need to change the MX record. This is the same for Gmail. Here you see here Semiline and BCC, and in those two specific cases, no need to change the MX record. If we need to clean the SMTP traffic for local exchange or for any other email server such as Zimbra or any other email server, then we need to change the MX record. In this specific case, the SMTP traffic goes to the X-ray console. It is being cleaned there, and then it's being delivered directly to the respective email server. As I said, in this case, when we change the MX record, the SMTP traffic goes directly to the X-ray console first. In all the cases, you need to set up the local email service. Never mind, is it Office 365, Gmail, Exchange, or other email server? You have to set it up locally to allow the cloud IP addresses of perception point, so that the respective email server to receive SMTP traffic only from perception point console, and this way you protect the email server from being attacked directly on the on the email server. Once we set up the service, then we have our central console to manage the email security from here. You see several different layers of protection. This is policy enforcement, anti-spam, threat intelligence, classic antivirus signature-based engine, anti-phishing, business email compromise, which is DKIM and DMARC analysis, code analysis, and hardware-assisted platform. Those two layers, they replace the traditional sandboxing technology, bringing more speed and more precision. When you use those layers, the code analysis and hardware-assisted platform layers, actually the time for providing a verdict is between it's about 30 seconds, maximum minute. While if you use a traditional sandboxing technology, then it could take you 10, 15, 20 minutes for one single email to provide verdicts. Here, it is very fast and very, very efficient. If we jump to the respective section, then we see here the emails which are being blocked. And from here, we can see why those mails have been blocked. Even we can see the respective email. This is the preview of the respective email. And we can see it from here. And also, here we see why it was classified as malicious. So there are explanations, and there are explanations about why this has been, which engines have been activated, and why the verdict was applied. So here you see all the explanations. There are some emails which are being catched up by by different security engines. So if we go back, we can find some emails which we have different engines activated. Yeah, you can see everything, all the explanations why this email has been classified as malicious. On top of that, instantly here you have instant access to the incident response team. You can drop them a chat message and ask for a deeper investigation of certain email. From here, you have instant access to the support via chat. You have instant access to the documentation. The documentation is available on many places here in the console. This is one of them. Also, you can use this functionality to drag and drop files or URLs and to bring them for custom analysis. So the Incident Response Center is providing real-time service to do file analysis or URL analysis, or you can contact them directly from here, from the chat. There are plenty of resources here. If you click on that icon, then you can see different short videos which show you actually how to do this, how to do that. For example, this configuration account takeover for Microsoft 365. This is additional layer of protection which we do here in the X-Ray console. Actually, it speaks directly to Microsoft, to the respective Microsoft 365 tenant. It analyzes the actions which are being applied to certain mailbox there, and it protects against account takeover directly in Microsoft 365 tenant. So you can see here, actually, the console is very convenient. All the resources available if you want to jump to a quick tutorial or to documentation, and also you have instant access from here to, as I mentioned, to the incident response or to the support team. And you have permanent news reports here. For example, this was recently announced. The account takeover setup was recently announced, and then here you can see that it was announced and how to activate it. You have, as I said, you have access to the documentation center from here, from the profile, or directly from here, from the console, and also you can have different types of reports. There are many different reports which you can create and use directly from here. The console is quite comprehensive and easy to be used. As I said, the traffic goes to the console. The SMTP traffic is being cleaned here. You can have the management directly here, and then the clean traffic is being delivered to the respective email server. Any questions about the email security? No. Chat, no questions in the chat. So moving forward to advanced DLP. Let's go to advanced DLP section. Advanced DLP, as I said, it consists of two major parts. The first one is so-called context-aware DLP. Context-aware DLP means device control. Here you can define which device is allowed or read-only or denied. It is quite granular. We control separately. We control for example, we control separately the clipboard, the screenshot capture, and the incoming and outgoing clipboard. Which means that if you establish an RDP connection between one workload and second workload, then you can control separately the incoming and outgoing clipboards from here. If you say, okay, deny all, then here you can define your device types allow list, different device types, or you can create certain database for USB devices where you can explain you can put the serial number, the device, the vendor, the product, and then only those USB devices will be allowed. As I said, this is the context-aware DLP, but more interesting is the content-aware DLP. When we speak about DLP, you know that there are three preliminary steps which have to be done before implementing the DLP. You have to do data classification, then you have to do business rules definition, then you have to do DLP rules definition, and once you are ready, based upon the predefined DLP rules, you have to take certain DLP tool and implement your DLP in place. Usually, the enterprise customers, they're using third-party consultancy services to do the data classification and to do the DLP rules definitions. Here in the Acronis CyberProtect Cloud implementation of our DLP, it is a little bit different. It is very easy to be implemented, and it is 100% oriented towards the way in which a managed service provider works. So here, the first three steps come automatically. So how it is being done? First, you put the agent in observation mode. Once you put it in observation mode, it automatically scans the different communication channels. And here in the data flow policy section, you get the data flow rules, which means DLP rules, automatically created. They are proposed to you to be applied during the observation mode. You get them proposed here. You can modify them. You can delete or add another rules during the observation mode. And during that time, you also get full visibility on the DLP events here. Who has done what. And once you decide that most of the data has flown through the agent and is being classified, actually when you get here the rule, the data is being automatically classified in one of those four categories. It is currently there are available those four categories, which are protected health information, personally identifiable information related to personal identity cards, passports. This is related to GDPR, PCI DSS, which are the credit card numbers related to the payment card industry, and documents which are marked as confidential. So the documents, all the information is being classified in one of those four categories. and you get in the rule you get the sender, the recipient. Currently, the database of users is being created automatically. There is no integration between the cloud DLP and the local Active Directory. As you, if you have already dealt with DLP implementations, you see that there are certain differences between the classic DLP implementation and the cloud MSP related DLP implementation. Here, a lot of automation, differences in some actions. For example, the classification categories. Here we have those predefined categories, while in the classic enterprise on-premise DLP, we have possibility to use Bold and James classifiers, to use templates, regular expressions, and so on. So those markets for the SMB DLP and for the enterprise DLP are a little bit different. And based on those differences, you see the differences in the implementation of the cloud DLP and also in the on-premise DLP. Now I'm focusing on the cloud DLP, but we have also on classic enterprise on-premise DLP, which is called Acronis Device Log DLP. So if you are interested in this topic, please make sure that you notify Nebojša, and we'll provide more information about it. As I said, the data are being classified, the DLP rules are being suggested, and the next step that you need to do is to go from observation mode into enforcement mode. So let's go here. When you go to enforcement mode, you have two possibilities. The first one is strict enforcement. In strict enforcement, only the DLP rules which you applied, which you have in the data flow section, are being applied. But you have also the possibility to put it in adaptive enforcement. Adaptive enforcement is equal to strict enforcement plus observation mode, which means that the current DLP rules are being applied, the verdicts are being applied, and it will be working in real production mode. But on top of that, if there is a new circumstance, new type of data, then you get new rules proposed. And in this way, the customer can stay always up to date, always in adaptive mode, to adapt quickly, to adjust their DLP rules quickly to the ever-changing landscape and ever-changing needs during the daily work of their employees. So adaptive enforcement is very flexible and very useful to change based on different circumstances. And this is it. You are done. I mean, this is the implementation of the DLP. It is very easy, very straightforward, and very automated. Put it in observation mode, collect the DLP rules, do the data class. The data classification is being done in the meantime, and after certain time, after 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, then you go to enforcement mode. Enforcement mode, either strict enforcement or adaptive enforcement, and then the DLP is being implemented. So it is quite easy and quite straightforward. We have OCR implemented in the cloud DLP. We have OCR implemented. It has more than 30 languages supported. So the agent can do automatically OCR and recognize characters if there are pictures, if there are JPEG or another picture type files. From here, we can also deal with any kind of data. Here it is written password protected data, but in fact these are all the data which cannot be recognized by the agents. So if you say, okay, we block the password protected data, this means that all of the data which cannot be recognized will be blocked, and everything will flow only through the channels which are allowed and through the policies which are allowed. Here you can see the different channels which are being monitored. For example, if we see here, let's say webmail, there are many applications which are being controlled and which are covered. They're described in the documentation which exactly applications, webmail applications, are being covered. But if the customer is using another webmail which is not listed here, then the traffic is being reassembled and brought down to the basic HTTP or HTTPS. Then the text is being extracted, and again the analysis will be applied and the verdicts will be applied. So plenty of different channels and applications. This is another famous thing about the Acronis Cloud DLP, that we control a lot of different communication channels. Yeah, and this is about the DLP. I see that we have 2-3 minutes left. So if you have in the meantime any questions, any things which you want to discuss deeper, just let me know.
No questions in the chat, but you still can unmute yourself and join us verbally.